Hey everyone, Brian Pintar here with your weekly market update. Rates ended this week just like they began, high. And we're still sitting at 1 year highs with regards to interest rates. The reason why rates were getting better and then they got worse after Kevin Warsh spoke today. So here's the problem. Kevin Warsh came out, who's the head of the Fed, and said that it looks like due to inflation that we're going to be increasing interest rates, or the odds of increasing interest rates at the next Fed meeting have gone up. Then, on the other hand, you have Scott Bessent saying we have $980 billion to spend on buying debt, with the goal of Bessent, again, now runs the Treasury, Warsh runs the Fed, monetary and fiscal policy, right? So you'd think they would talk to each other. So Bessent is out there saying we're going to buy our used debt to help bring down the treasury yields, which brings down borrowing costs, which actually helps the US when it comes to paying our own debt, which has exceeded $40 trillion. The interest alone on our debt right now is more than we, the country, the United States, spend on all of defense in a given year. So think about that. Our interest is so high on our debt that we actually really need to bring those rates down, which what Bessent's trying to do. But then you have Warsh, on the other hand, who is actually saying we're going to increase rates. So you have the head of monetary, and the head of fiscal policy not talking to each other, doing exact opposite things. So if I look at Fed on the Warsh on the Fed side, like the problem is, hey, yeah, inflation's high. And you know what? Raising interest rates to try to curb inflation is not going to help. And you know why? Because oil is so high. The average price of diesel right now is $5.50. So no matter how much you increase the rates to slow spending, doesn't matter. It literally has zero effect. Gas is so high that everything we buy is going to be that high. So inflation is going to be that high. The other problem is everybody knew that Warsh, in the beginning, he said from day one, before he was actually appointed the Fed chair, that one of his goals would be to lower the balance sheet, which means sell off the treasuries and securities that the Fed oversees or owns, right? Which is going to increase interest rates. So why was he appointed in the first place, knowing that his policies increase rates when Trump wants to cut rates? Regardless, we are in a pickle and a standstill, and nothing is getting better anytime soon. And I don't mean to be negative. I'm just being really honest. And if I sound frustrated, because I am. We literally have the head of the Treasury and the head of the Fed who control basically the entire economic policy for the United States and most of the world, not talking to each other. So future outlook, I don't know. Probably not very good, because oil is not going down anytime soon. And if oil doesn't go down, then spending continues to rise. And then Warsh wants to add rising interest rates on top of that. I'm in a conundrum. But if you have any questions, I'm super happy to help. You can read more about this below. And hope you have a great day. Call me anytime. Thanks. Bye.